Okay, so needed to make a video of this crazy fucking game that just happened. This is a match I just played with my Wort Red Black Goblins build, and this was absolutely absolutely crazy. So kept an opening hand that was great. The only thing bad about this hand is that it's obviously weak to Wasteland. We got Lackey, Matron, Tarfire for removal, Wasteland for land destruction, Ancient Tomb for acceleration, and a Wort Bogart Auntie for card advantage. This hand is absolutely stacked. Let's check this out. So I just start out by playing Lackey, obviously, like you do. Wastelands be damned. Opponent plays an Urborg and then names Wasteland with a Pithing Needle. And I'm just like, whoa, I'm quite possibly screwed here. But I still have a Tarfire, so I do have some ways to interact with like a Vampire Hexmage. On my turn, I go ahead and I play this Ancient Tomb out, and then I Matron, grabbing a Sting Scourger, because Sting Scourger's great at bouncing Merit Lage tokens. So the plan is, I'm figuring next turn he's going to go and play a Vampire Hexmage. Then I'm going to Tarfire the Hexmage, play the Badlands, and bounce it with the Lage with the Sting Scourger. That's not exactly how it goes. Right here, I get to put in Wort. What's really cool about having Wort right here is now I also have recursion set up, so I can use the Sting Scourger multiple times. But check this out. He goes and plays the Dark Depths. He Inquisition of Kozilek's me. Then we go to my turn. Inquisition of Kozilek just grabs Tarfire. Great. I just return Tarfire back to my hand with Wort. Then I draw the Bloodstained Mire, and I just attack here. Get in for 5. That's nice. Don't put anything in. Keep that Sting Scourger in hand. Now this is the turn where things get really squirrely because he plays the Thespian stage. And I sit here and I go, wow, okay, you play the Thespian stage, so Sting Scourger can no longer play around the Merit Lage. Wasteland can't play around it because he needled the Wasteland, and Tarfire does nothing. But you know what does work is if I Tarfire my own Matron and recur it with my Wort the following turn. And here's the other thing, because I have a Sting Scourger, I am going to play this Matron off of the Ancient Tomb, go to 15 life, and that's what happens right here. I'm going to grab a Sling Gang Lieutenant. Sling Gang plus Sting Scourger means I'm going to have a total of 7 goblins in play. So I'm going to be able to sack 6 goblins, retaining my Wort, and I'm going to be able to go up to 21 life and survive through a Dark Depths attack. But I also happen to draw this Grenzo Havoc Razor, so I didn't even need to play out the Sting Scourger. But because of Wort, didn't matter. I could have done it either way. So I played out the Grenzo Havoc Razor. He makes his Merit Lage token, like you do, attacks me for 20 this turn, and I go ahead and just sack. Oh, and he thought seizes me too. Whatever, that doesn't even matter. Takes my Sting Scourger, doesn't matter. I have a Wort. I go ahead, I gain 6 life here off the Sling Gang Lieutenant. Go up to 21, leave the Wort in play. Next turn, I just recur my Sling Gang Lieutenant, attack with Wort, play the Wasteland, play the Sling Gang, and I burn him out from there. That was pretty awesome. Had to make a video of that. That's the craziest Wort shenanigan I think I've ever pulled. The following game was nowhere near as interesting. Following game, being on the draw, I had a slow hand with Vial, but I was looking at this hand and I was like, well, we got a Matron, we got Sling Gang, we got a Wort, we got a Ringleader, we have 2 lands. I could potentially just draw into a Weirding or a Sting Scourger if he has a really fast start, or just draw into a War Chief. And if I draw a third land, if he for some reason doesn't go off if he has a slow start, I draw a third land. It sets me up to have Matron into a Vial at 2 on turn 3, so I have a Sting Scourger live. So I'm like, okay, I have things. He takes my Matron, that's fine. I draw an Ancient Tomb, so I just start out with a little Aether Vial action. Then he goes and just makes a Merit Lage token this turn. And I'm like, well, okay, now I just need to draw a Warren Weirding. And instead I draw a Pithing Needle. That's game. Okay. Game 3 is also a fun game. This one got kind of squirrely. Not quite as squirrely as game 1, but tremendous opening hand for me. I got the Lackey for a fast start. I have Pithing Needle to turn off half of the combo. I have Wort to recur whatever I need. I have a Tarfire for Hex Mage. I have Ancient Tomb for acceleration. I have Caracas to just go ahead and bounce a Merit Lage token. So I have a lot of angles covered here. So I just start by jamming the Lackey. He goes out, has an Urborg start, Thought Seizes me. He now fears the Wort, which, given my hand, I'm not surprised. But I just draw more goblins, so no big deal. I go ahead and play out a Pithing Needle, treating the Ancient Tomb as a swamp, and then I just attack and just put the Goblin War Chief into play. Now I keep the Tarfire and the Caracas in hand, so if he plays out Depths and Hex Mage, I can Tarfire the Hex Mage and then bounce the Merit Lage. Now I draw another piece of removal, so this is pretty fantastic. I go ahead, I swing in, start the beats going. I named Thespian Stage with Needle the other turn, by the way, just because, why not? Just name half the combo. I had plenty of other things to interact with it, so I wasn't worried about keeping Pithing Needle in hand right there. He goes out and plays a Vampire Hex Mage anyway. That's fine. Again, I had that covered with the Tarfire. That's part of why I named Thespian Stage with the Needle. Tarfire the Hex Mage. He uses it to create a Merit Lage, and then I just go and play a Needle. This time naming Hex Mage on my second Needle, and then I just weirding away his Lage. He has turned off my Caracas with his Pithing Needle also. And now at this point, there's not really much that he can do. I just draw stuff. I don't start attacking yet because there's no point of attacking into that Hex Mage. I draw a Lackey here, just violin a Lackey on end step on his turn. I don't think he really did anything else right here. And then on my turn, I go and I draw I think I just draw the Sling Gang Lieutenant here. Yeah, so I just draw the Sling Gang. So I just play out the Sling Gang, and now I just start attacking. I hold back the War Chief and the Sling Gang just because they don't need to swing in right here. He blocks a Lackey. I just sack it to get an extra life. And then my opponent Bajuka Bogs my graveyard. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Please bring in all the Bajuka Bogs you want against Wort. That is A-okay. So there we have it. Just wanted to throw that out there. I'm going to put this up on YouTube. That was too silly, and I needed to share that with everyone. Have a good night.